Good evening, everyone, spirited brothers and sisters. We in New York City are just at the beginnings of our first big snowstorm in several years, apparently. So it feels like a very cozy night to be in this space with you on December 16th, which is really what drove my kind of changing directions a little bit. Those of you that have joined me before know that what I do here each week is to honor the Divine Feminine by calling in, by bringing in a different goddess from around the world every week. And I've been wanting to really highlight some of the Yoruban goddesses, and Oya, Oshun, Yamaya, and they didn't, at first glance, they didn't seem to have any feast days around now. But what showed up, and I was so fascinated with it, it's been quite a journey to look at a particular god, a particular Yoruban orisha, as they're called in that tradition. And whose name may sound vaguely familiar to you, Babalú-Ayé, Babalú-Ayé. And the reason that he may sound familiar is that if you ever watched I Love Lucy or have seen reruns of it, Desi Arnaz, if you remember, is Cuban, and there are several times in the show where he sings to Babalú. In sync with the drum. So he's very revered. Babalú-Ayé is actually he's from the African Yoruban tradition, who was brought with the slaves to the Americas, and he is honored and celebrated in different ways in different countries in Central and South America. And in Cuba, in particular, he's associated with Saint Lazarus, with the Catholic Saint Lazarus. And if you know that story, Lazarus was actually the brother of Mother Mary and her sister Martha, and had leprosy, died, and Jesus apparently brought him back to life, and he attained sainthood. So when you look at, and these are two very different representations of Babalú-Ayé and of Lazarus, and they are intricate, they are intimately intertwined in their different spiritual traditions. You can see Lazarus here, who looks pretty healthy, actually, for someone who has leprosy. He's always shown with two dogs, sores on his body, a white man, which is interesting because the origins, of course, for Babalú-Ayé were African. And in this depiction of Babalú-Ayé, and I found many of them, but this one fascinated with me. He's covered with palm frond fibers to cover up his sores for people who would have a hard time looking at him. So the reason, now why am I telling you all this, and why am I doing a male orisha in our divinely feminine time? As you well know, because I say it every week, we all are a beautiful mix of divinely masculine, divinely feminine qualities. In the external world, in the outer world, we're very much still a patriarchal society all over the world, really. So part of my life's work is to really bring awareness in my own life, and hopefully rippling out and supporting other people to do the same, to bring awareness to the divine feminine and the qualities that represent the divine feminine, which are, among other things, honoring our intuition, honoring our emotions, collaboration, cooperation, healing, compassion. Now, Babalú-Ayé actually represents many of those things. He's both loved and respected and feared in the Yoruban tradition, and in this country, in Santeria, in the Santerian traditions. And that is because, and there's so many reasons why he's so apt for right now. First of all, December 17th, tomorrow, is one of the most holy days honoring him, where in in normal times, thousands of worshipers make a pilgrimage to Rincon, to a church, to a St. Lazarus church in Rincon, Cuba, to honor St. Lazarus. It's a leprosorium is the church, acknowledging Lazarus, his plague of, if you will, of leprosy. And it's also, so tonight is a night when people would go deep and would come to Babalú-Ayé for healing of illness, of those who were close to death. He apparently is often associated with death and dying, but that's mostly because what he will appear to help those people heal. And one of the things that I thought was so fascinating when I decided, here we are on the eve of his of one of his most holy days. One of the things that's very fascinating is that he's particularly called upon to heal plagues and things like HIV, AIDS, smallpox, and any of those things that are considered plagues. And I thought, whoa, here we are in the midst of COVID. And if there was ever a modern day plague, that's certainly it. So we can call on Babalú-Ayé and his very divinely feminine qualities of compassion and healing, I think right now in some really important ways. So that's why I brought him in. That's why we have a male representation, a male god / orisha, as they're called in the Yoruban Santerian tradition. That's why he's kind of wanted to appear. And I may still do Yamaya, who is celebrated several times during the year. And one of those is on New Year's Eve. I haven't decided yet if we'll do that in a couple weeks. So the many associations with Babalú-Ayé really seem to resonate for where we are right now. Not just the fact that we're on the eve of his holy day, but also because of the fact that we're so in desperate need of healing right now, surrounded by this plague, by this virus, as we are. And I'm wearing, I don't know how well you can see, but I'm wearing purple and black and yellow or gold. Those are his colors. He also dresses in burlap. I happen to have a burlap bag. So, and you'll see depictions of him with burlap as well, with adornments of purple and yellow. So, I would invite you to think about where in your life healing is desperately needed, or maybe not desperately, but at least needed somewhat, especially in your own life, yes, in the world, most definitely. For friends, family, people that you love. How can we embrace this very powerful energy that Babalú-Ayé brings to us? So what I'd like to do, I think, and it's interesting, one place that in all the research that I was doing around him, one place talks about that he's connected with heat being fever that burns away illnesses, and that you should only worship him during the day. And yet, one of the other places, a Santerian site that I found, talked about the fact that tonight, on the eve of Babalú-Ayé's holy day, that all candles were lit, that bowls of offering and were placed on the altar, lined with burlap. The big bowl was lined with burlap, and that only candles would be lit. So that one was saying that you can do it at night, even though there's more heat during the day. So it's really, my feeling is I'm not a practitioner of Santeria. I respect it. It's obviously something that in my multicultural education, and the fact that I think we all can benefit by the archetypes and the metaphors from all of these goddesses, gods, orishas from around the world, which is why I bring them here to you. So I'll share with you, I think I couldn't decide what to do. I think I've shared this before, but it feels like in this very strange holiday season that I'll just share with you. I don't know any Santeurian chants. I don't speak Spanish well enough to try and mimic one of the Babalú-Ayé chants that I found in my research. But I can share one of the very simple healing ones that we often do in my circles, and I offer it to you. So just close your eyes and take in this healing prayer, and then I invite you afterwards to just go and create a healing space for yourself, to let go of whatever needs to be released, and to welcome in, with BabalAy's help, all prayers for protection, for prosperity, for peace, for good health. And this is my healing prayer for you. I am a circle, I am healing you. You are a circle, you are healing me. Unite us, be as one. Unite us, be as one. I am a circle, I am healing you. You are a circle, you are healing me. Unite us, be as one. Unite us, be as one. Thank you for joining me for this exploration into this powerful healing orisha, Babalú-Ayé, and take some time tonight to just sit quietly and think of where you want to welcome in his energy of healing and compassion into your life. Bye for now. Namaste. We'll see you next week.